Check, check, 1, 2. Check, 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 check. Chicky, chicky, chicky. Hi, friends. Good to be back. My name is Dean. Welcome to the program. We have a busy show for you today. It is all Donald Trump all the time. 34 felony convictions yesterday. The world is celebrating today. We'll talk about the fallout, and we'll talk about who's really scared. Rich white guys that love to commit crimes all the time, falsify records. We'll also talk about how the MAGA nation is faring this morning. We've got some great video, great audio to show for you. It's going to be a lot of fun, so hang out with us. We've also got a couple of other items to take care of, including a golf tournament. We're going to get to that in just a second. Golf tournament courtesy of our friends at Ardent Roof Systems for Stollery Children's Hospital in Edmonton, Alberta, which is where my co-host joins me from. His name is Lachlan Cross. He's here now. Hi, Lachlan. How are you?
Aloha.
Nice to see you. Aloha. But before we get to the golf tournament, before we get to Trump, before we get to a couple of other things, I just want to share with you a revelation. You know how people like to be early adopters, whatever, however you want to call it. Like people say, oh, I was the first person that heard that band, or I was the first person who tried those chips. You know what I mean? Like those people. I believe I'm the first person to try said chip. There are several flavors. I was at Cheese Boutique this morning. It's my favorite place. We did an unboxing for a Father's Day meat box, which is becoming soon to a podcast.
So she said.
The meat box on its way to your house from my friends at Cheese Boutique. I got to clear that up because you're here. I just want to point these out. Now, everybody's sick of dill pickle, salt and vinegar, ketchup, all that sour cream and onion, all the chips. Everybody's got a favorite chip, right? Everybody's got a thing. It's like, I'm a dill pickle guy. I'm a ketchup guy. Ketchup chips are an aberration, by the way. I don't even understand why people like those chips. So I go to Cheese Boutique. We record this unboxing for a Father's Day box, $230, get you $300 worth of meat, and you can enter to win a barbecue. It's a long story, but you can tag them, and I'll explain it another time. However, as I go there, they're like, and we're going to throw in a bag of these chips. And I go, what are those chips? These are fried egg chips.
Oh,
These are chips that taste suspiciously like fried eggs. And when I say taste suspiciously like fried eggs, they really taste like fried eggs. Now, I'm a fried egg guy, but they have the crunch of the chip. Not done there, Lachlan. Not done there. We also have ham-flavored chips, foie gras flavored chips, white truffle flavored chips, lemon and pink salt flavored chips.
I'm good with.
It's the fried egg you wouldn't touch. I haven't opened every bag. Let me get through this. Let me get through it before I get your opinion on the food that I ate, which I haven't finished talking about yet. These chips are revelatory. They're like, wait a second, what the fuck have I been eating for chips? And I'm a chip guy. Chips Pizza. If you want to get me, invite me over for Chips Pizza. And it's dill pickle, salt and vinegar, something that keeps you going. These chips, I've tried them all. They all taste exactly like they say they're going to taste, like ham, foie gras, I don't know, lemon, salt, pink this, pink that. But they're changing the game. Quillo, they're not cheap. They're really good. But if you're a chip person, you need to get on the fried egg chips ASAP. Just putting it out there. Cheese Boutique of Toronto. It's a place you can get it. You can order it online. They'll send it to you. But they're changing the chip game. Spicy Iberian ham-flavored chips, Lachlan.
So is this a Canadian company?
I don't know. No, Spanish. They're from Spain.
Spanish. Okay, yeah. I've never heard of them. And I've never had a fried egg. I'm trying to wrap my head around that. I love eggs. I'm not sure I want that in my chip, but I'd try it.
I think. Dude, I do. If you love fried eggs and you love the crunch.
The pink salt thing.
Oh, dude, you got to try it. I'm telling you. I'm going to send you
I'm a chip guy. I'm a salt guy.
Are you? Yeah, that's your sweets. Your snack, you're a snack guy.
I mean, if someone's making a sundae downstairs, putting hot sauce on it, like chocolate hot sauce or caramel on it, I'm in. Like, throw a bag of nuts on that too. But I'm a chip guy. Yeah. I try to stay away from chips because I know exactly. I'm also like, I'm the guy that gets the bag of sunflower seeds and will not stop until the 4-pound bag is gone and my mouth is raw. Right? Like, I'm that guy.
Sores everywhere. Your gums are bleeding, and you're like, I can't stop.
You know what I love?
What's that?
Corn chips.
Barbecue or regular? What is it?
Regular, just a regular everyday corn chip. Dip those in a bucket of hummus.
Oh,
life-changing.
Yeah, dude. Or pretzels.
I want to try these chips.
Dude, and here's the thing. The snack game is changing so much. Dude, you're going to love these chips. Saw 2 TV commercials last night. I was watching the Trump coverage. 2 TV commercials that piqued my interest. Pretzels.com, caramels.com. They're just doing food, whatever specific crack.
They do crazy stuff.
Snack crack, and then it's .com, and you can go and get all kinds of different stuff. And now I'm in this at this point in my life. It's sort of like when I quit drinking. Now I'm back a little bit. I'll have a couple cocktails here and there. Where all the good booze happened when I decided to quit drinking. All the great snacks are happening at an age where I shouldn't be eating snacks. It's sort of a piss off.
You can go there.
I can once in a while. 80-20. Like I eat pretty healthy. I'm pretty clean.
Yeah.
But it's like all the good shit's coming out now in 2024.
Yeah.
Fried egg chips, caramels.com. Anyway. Yeah, dude,
Anyway.
I'm telling you, you'd love it. Excited to come out there July 5th, by the way, just before we get onto the show and Donald Trump. July 5th, I am coming to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada to see my friend Lachlan Cross, my friend Stacey Dissatel. We had a great conversation with him last night. There is a golf tournament that's been going on for a few years now that's Stacey at Arden Roof Systems. It is Edmonton and Alberta's #1 roofs, eaves, siding company. Get a quote, ardenroofsystems.com.
Can I say this too?
Yeah,
please. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
If you have a quote already, please get Stacey and the guys down there to have a look at it. Okay. And just ask them, just ask questions, right? You do not want to screw around with your roof. And there's a lot of guys that shouldn't be up there doing the job. I hate to say it. It's one of those businesses. There's a lot of companies that, all of a sudden they show up one summer and they're there for a summer. And then some reason they're never there again. And someone came and grabbed their trucks out of the parking lot, out of their driveways.
You mean guys in like white overcoats that have bailiff on the back? Those guys?
Yeah. And then they don't have their Ford F-150s anymore. Right.
Yeah.
So Stacey's been doing this 10 plus years. We've talked about his credentials. He's a good guy, gives back to the community. Do yourself a favor. Just make sure you get the roof done properly. Okay. Give Arden Roof Systems a call. And we got one of his suppliers on that's a big part of the tournament, the Arden Roof Systems charity golf tournament for the Stollery Child's Life program. His name is Devin. Devin, how do you say your last name again? We're going to get him on and
I think it's Devin. I think it's Devin Enos, if I'm not mistaken. Devin Enos, is that how you say your name?
Yeah, that's correct. Got made fun of a lot growing up.
Devin Enos. Yeah, I guess so, because I can rhyme that with one word real quick.
Yeah, made me a tough kid, like the boy named Sue, that song. So.
It sometimes has its advantages, right?
Like, yeah.
What a heater on this guy too. Hey,
look at the mustache. Yeah. Dude, who made you first of all, welcome to the show before I insult you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for spending time with us. I'm going to start with the insults before I even welcome him and say thanks for coming on. Devin Enos from ABC. Now, explain to me real quick before we get to what ABC is, your involvement in this golf tournament for Stollery Children's Hospital and the Child Life program with your friends over at Arden Roof Systems. Explain to me when that heater started, when the mustache started to grow, and who was it that was like, you know what? I think you should grow that thing, because that is Lanny McDonald-esque. That is a fucking beauty.
It started over just about 3 years ago. Actually had the full handlebar before. The old lady, she's a fan of it. So where I lost the handles, I kept the remaining of the stash. The lip would be a little cold without it now. So it's part of me. People know me as Devin with the luscious stash. Now, so.
There we go.
So it was, folks, if you're at home playing at home, the why did Devin grow that massive mustache game, his wife prefers it. You can draw whatever conclusion you like from that. It could be aesthetic. It might be something else.
Some people like some women like hair. Like Dean has been shaving less since his new relationship too.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, and
no head hair.
You don't have any head hair.
Something on the face.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta break it up, right? You can't just be one big head.
Balance. It's about balance, Devin. I got you. I got you covered.
And with the Oilers playoffs, I'm just my inner Stuart Skinner. So
is that your playoff beard?
Out there? Yeah.
Is that your playoff beard? Are you keeping like everything else too, or are you usually clean shaven, or is this, because you're in the playoffs, game. What it was it game 5 tomorrow night or tonight? Is it game 5
tonight? Yeah.
Game 5 tonight. Is that beard like your Oiler beard?
Full
Is
sweater.
That the deal? Yeah. You got
We're really getting into it with Devin today.
Yeah.
On to talk about a charity golf tournament and his business, but we got a picture of him running naked already in our minds.
Yeah, it's good. Are you one of those guys that's like super? Because you can grow a beard, no problem, obviously, right? And if you know anything about the follicularly challenged, they're usually hairy everywhere else. So it starts to migrate from up here down there, right? Yeah. I've always wanted to ask a dude like you who's hirsute, do you shave down there too, or would it just look weird like you've clear cut a patch of grass from the forest?
I mean, I'm not a big chest shaver. Never was.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. I got enough work to shave my head.
Yeah.
Let alone my face. There's too much body there. So now.
Oh, it's smart. Yeah. No, it's smart. And when did the hair start to migrate? Because by the way, see what Devin's doing, kids. If you're out there and you're losing your hair like I am, Fox's ears, you're like Lachlan, you just shave it, right? You don't try to keep the dream alive. When did you decide to do that?
Pull the trigger.
Yeah, you got it, right?
About 4 years ago, I saw a picture online and I said, "Oh my, it's time. It's time to pull the trigger." When you look at a picture of yourself and you can barely see any hair left standing, it's time to pull the trigger.
You got a nice shaped head though, Devin. You look good. You're a good looking bald guy.
Pretty decent shape, yeah.
Yeah,
really nice.
You're fine.
Oddly shaped.
No, yeah. Hey, dude, you got a really, really good looking head.
Yeah. And he looks like an otter when he's in the water.
He didn't like that. Hair. Yeah, there you go. Devin Annis, ABC, part of the golf tournament. The Stollery Children's Hospital is going to benefit from this tournament. You're a huge partner for our friends over at Arden Roof Systems. Why don't you tell me a little bit about ABC and how you got to be involved and where we're going to be together on July 5th?
Yeah, so I've been working with Stacy just over 6 years now since I started with our former company was called Monarch. So just over a year and a half ago, we got purchased by ABC Supply. So ABC Supply is is North America's largest distributor of roofing, siding, and windows. We were kind of their first venture into Canada, and now they're about 23 branches wide. So yeah, very happy to be sponsoring this and first time sponsoring it on a major level. Looking forward to a great day full of fun and all while supporting a great cause. Yeah.
Oh, good. Devin, you've been part of the tournament on a certain level now since the inception of it. It's run 4 years. Ardent and all of his sponsors and all the golfers have managed to raise $65,000. When he told me that this year, I was like, "You've raised $65,000 with 4 tournaments." And it's just a fun day out, right, at the ranch, which is a great place for a golf tournament. This is the 5th year. His goal is to try to raise enough money to get us over the $100,000 mark. But it's a great tournament. You guys have been there from the beginning of this. And I guess probably your relationship with Stacy obviously speaks to your wanting to continue to be involved with it, but it's also a great way to give back to the community.
You bet. Yeah, I'm more than happy to do it any way we can give back. And this is just a fun way to do it all while supporting a great cause and the kids, right? So
yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say July 5th is the tournament at the ranch. I don't know if I mentioned the dates, but yeah.
What do you do at ABC? Were you the owner of the company before ABC bought you? You were Monarch prior to that. ABC purchased you. What is ABC Supply? Explain it to us real quick.
Yeah, so Monarch was owned by 3 different owners: Chad McDonald, Rob McCannell, and Errol Shalom. So they're all riding off into the sunset now since retirement. One of the last owners actually just retired. So ABC Supply came in. I was actually a sales rep before, but with the inception of ABC Supply, I took over the branch here in Atchison. So yeah, just the branch manager for our primarily focused roofing, but we sell siding and stuff too in our location. So yeah.
Okay, and you work with Stacy and Lachlan off the top, and I've talked to Stacy a couple of times, and Stacy has great relationships with other people in that space that you can trust. And Lachlan was talking about it right off the top, where he's like, "Hey, listen, if you have a quote." Right. If you've got someone coming to, because I'm of the opinion that everybody out there is out to get us unless you actually know the person. And then if you know the person and you trust the person, that's the person you want to share with all your friends. Like everybody's got a dishwasher guy. Everybody's got a roofing guy, a siding guy. And the one thing that matters to people when you say to people, "Hey, listen, I've got a problem with my roof." "Oh, I've got a guy." The first thing I ask that person is, do you trust them? Right. Is that like, do you like the person? And when I talk to Stacy, Lachlan says this about him too, and I think he says it about you as well. And Stacy had some incredible things to say about you last night on the phone. Is the person honest? Talk a little bit about that from a perspective in your relationship with Stacy, because he appears to be that kind of guy, that authentic guy who comes to your house and he'll tell you if he can do the job that you're asking or tell you if he can't, but he never, ever, ever tells you something that you want to hear just to get your money. He's one of those guys that is there because his reputation and his pride is his job. Is that not, am I getting the right thing out of Stacy when I talk to him? He's just such a good human.
100%. I think, especially in this industry and just business in general, a lot of people are going to just tell you what you want to hear to get the sale. I think that speaks to Stacy's company and their vision behind what they do is they're there to sell you a system and give you the right option. They're not just there to get a sale, sell you a roof, and then that's the last you're going to see of them. So that's something that maybe is lacking within the industry, and I think we could see more of, which is, it's great to see we're reinforcing positive change within the industry. So it's great to see someone kind of doing that and kind of stepping up to lead that charge, right? So,
and it's not just the roofing industry, Devin. It's other, I mean,
business
you
in
gotta find
general.
a good mechanic. Yeah, you got to find, I mean, if you take your car to a mechanic, if you know nothing about cars, the next thing you know, you're replacing your brakes and your transmission, and and you need all new 4 tires. I mean, there's always that constant upsell, and you can get taken for a bit of a ride. I know that Stacy's shown up at a home, taking a look at a quote from another company and said, you don't need to replace your shingles at this point. We can do this, this, and this, and you'll be good for another 3-4 years. Right. Like, so he's that kind of a business owner, right? Yeah.
You bet.
Yeah, he's honest. He actually cares. And you're right. You talk about it in mechanics. Like, there are high priests of certain industries and in business, guys that know how to do things that common people don't. And you literally, because they are mechanics or they are roofers or they are electricians, you're like, I'm kind of at your mercy because I don't know shit about this stuff. Like, I don't know anything. So, like, when I share my guy's information, if I lived in Edmonton, Stacy would be my guy. I'd be like, yeah, that's my guy. I would share that information sparingly. Like,
you don't want to get too busy,
right? Yeah, it's like, I don't want it, you know what I mean? It's like my mechanic at Active Green and Ross. I feel bad talking about it, and I tweet about him from time to time because he's got a perfect rating. He's the guy that you go in and you're like, okay, I think my brakes are toast. He goes, no, your brakes are fine. Your rim was bent. We just bent it back, no charge, and I changed your oil. And you're like, are you fucking serious, dude? You're that kind of guy. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm never gonna
hang on to that guy.
But that's how good people do good business over a long period of time, and that's what Stacy is, and that's obviously what Devin at ABC Supply is. Devin, really excited to meet you on July 5th for the golf tournament. Thank you for partnering with us and, of course, the people at Stollery Child Life Program at Stollery Children's Hospital. Thank you for taking a minute out to talk to us. And thanks for rocking that mustache unabashedly and telling men to pull the trigger if they're going bald. I think that is maybe some of the most salient advice anybody's ever given on this program. So thank you,
Devin.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate you letting me speak about the company and the tournament. So
anytime. Website, tell people where you are. Yeah. What's your
just abcsupply.com. We don't have a whole Canadian version of it yet because we're still rolling that out, but you can go on in there to see all the core values of our company and stuff like that. Yeah.
Awesome, buddy. Appreciate you. Have a great day at Edmonton.
Awesome.
And go Oilers tonight.
Go Oilers.
Yeah. Go Oilers.
Thanks,
yeah, he's excited. You're excited too. He's rocking the playoff beard and the playoff vest and the playoff sweater.
That's not a playoff beard because Devin can grow that in 4 days. Right?
He's jealous of those dudes.
Listen. Yeah. I've known a couple of guys that can grow a beard like overnight.
Yeah.
I worked with one. He just had to go, and he'd have what I would grow in 2 weeks in an evening. I
always felt like less of a man too because I couldn't grow a beard, even like in my 30s. No, I'm not. Like, if I grew a beard, you would go, Jesus, Dean, have you left the house? Like,
my old man is that guy. He can grow a beard like that. He used to have to set the alarm in the middle of the night to wake up to pull the pillow off his face so he didn't suffocate.
Because he grew his beard. He grew beard so hardcore,
so fast.
Yeah, I know some girls.
All right,
like
are we jumping into the Trump stuff here now?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
How you feeling? Yesterday was a big day. We got off the show. We were talking about it because they were deliberating. Right? Yesterday they were deliberating. 4:30, we get this note. It's like jury has a verdict. I'm insane. Like, holy shit. So I see Caitlin Collins from CNN, who was one of my favorite follows. She's so hot, by the way. I see her say we've got a verdict. So I tweet out, apparently there's a verdict. Within 20 minutes, I turn on the TV.
Yeah.
Guilty in the first degree of falsifying business records all 34 times. I fucking couldn't believe it, dude.
I was shocked.
I couldn't believe it.
I thought, first off, two things that surprised me, because yesterday I said I don't know anything about it, but I said I think that this one's going to be a hard one to lock down. Just following the news, hearing what was being said about it, it sounded like it was going to take that jury some time to work their way through, a verdict, right? And then I also thought, based on how divided that country is, there's a good possibility that maybe that jury room was split down the middle, because I'm sorry, it's hard not to take it into consideration that the man that you're judging is one of the most famous people in the world, was a leader of the country, and is wildly divisive, is largely responsible for dividing that country, and that country, wildly responsible for why that country is where it is right now, right? Mm-hmm. So I thought, okay, that might work its way into the conversation between the juries. So the jurors, I thought for sure that we were going to see like a week, if not longer, for them to figure this out. So that surprised me. The other thing, and again, I don't know the law, but the fact that they came back so quickly with 24
hours
verdict, that's insane, man. And
fucking crazy.
I'll point this out, and we can discuss this, but I think there's something clearly wrong with the American judicial system if that can happen. If a man that has been that guilty for that many years and has been breaking the law for that long finally gets convicted, there's something clearly wrong with the system down there.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I have literally, and this is going to sound really, really gross. I have been like mentally jerking off for the past 12 hours, 15, maybe 20. I have enjoyed this so much, approaching 24. Watching someone who was able to skate from responsibility for 77 years, really for the last 8, 9, since he's entered politics. Watching a guy who's just a career criminal, career liar, career rapist, just an awful fucking piece of shit, get charged and convicted on television in front of hundreds of millions of people. And by the way, no one in New York gave a shit yesterday. That was the other beautiful part of that. New Yorkers were like, well, whatever. He had like a group of 30 people out front. We'll get to some of those videos losing their minds. But generally speaking, no one cares.
I thought there'd be a bigger reaction if this happened. That's what I thought.
No, dude, because it's a made up movement. There are no real people behind this movement. So like you get your dregs, you get some people from trailer parks, you might get the odd mentally, disturbed individual like those crazy fuckers that think Donald Trump is Jesus Christ incarnate. You might get some of that, but no, I mean, largely speaking, this has been a fake internet bot movement. MAGA is a cult that only captures the imagination of the average fucking moron. And when I say average, I mean someone that doesn't have the mental horsepower to have a normal conversation. When I say average, I mean someone that has below average IQ. When I say average, I mean someone who is religious in nature, somebody who has a self-interest, and I put this in a tweet today. And I want to say this before we get into some of the charges and all the other video and some of the incredible memes that are going around.
The meme game has been fun.
Fucking outrageously awesome. If you're sitting there this morning going, I wonder, he did it all. All of these things that he got convicted of. He did all of them.
Still feels like a witch hunt.
All 34 crimes that were alleged against him in this hush money falsifying business records trial. He was found guilty in the first degree, which means He helped plan it. It was his idea. He was the only guy who really benefited from it. And he is a fucking criminal. These are felony criminal indictments, which means he could very well go to jail. Probably won't. We'll get into that in just a second.
Okay.
However,
I got one thing.
Sure.
You know how they always have the video of the guy the guy that's running, whether it's, the mayor or the premier of your province or whatever it is. There's always like that day of voting. Yeah. There's always a video of them where they're walking into the poll station to cast their vote for themselves. Mm-hmm. He's a felon. He can't vote for himself in the next election.
He can't own a gun. He can't vote for himself.
Okay,
dude, he can't vote for anybody. He is legitimately a second-class citizen. Do you want to know what else?
Let's revel in that for a minute. He's probably still going to run, right? He's still going to be the head of the Republican Party.
Maybe. People are starting to fucking lose their mind and want him out. This is a speech that he gave today. We'll get into it. But this is to your point.
The speech he gave today was so disjointed.
Fucking awesome, wasn't it?
It was
is the rambling
crazy
of a crazy old
I had no idea what he was talking about.
That nobody does. Nobody does.
2
minutes and 46.
I was trying to piece together like who, what? He was just all over the place.
Dude,
I loved it. As soon as I saw him, he's going to do it without a teleprompter. I'm insanity. Like, yes.
Yep. It's pure insanity. I want you to listen to it and play it for you. That's all 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Okay. This is in Trump Tower this morning. By the way, Trump Tower, which indeed the Russian mob used to run brothels out of, the Chinese mob used to counterfeit money in. We all know what happens in Trump Tower.
I thought he had to give this away. Does he still own it?
No. He might not own this by the end of the month. This is E. Jean Carroll Tower now. So anyway, he's on borrowed time. This is, keep in mind, the morning after he was found guilty on 34 felony criminal counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. He is going to jail. This is sheer fucking
he'll go to
insanity, ladies and gentlemen.
If they can do this to me, they can do this to anyone.
This is him starting.
These are, in many cases, I believe, sick people. When you look at our country, what's happening where millions and millions of people are flowing in from all parts of the world, not just South America, from Africa, from Asia, from the Middle East. And they're coming in from jails and prisons, and they're coming in from mental institutions and insane asylums. They're coming in from all over the world into our country. And we have a president and a group of fascists that don't want to do anything about it, because they could right now, today, he could stop it. But he's not. They're destroying our country. Our country is in very bad shape, and they're very much against me saying these things. They want to raise your taxes by 4 times. They want to stop you from having cars with their ridiculous mandates that make it impossible for you to get a car or afford a car. Make it very possible for China to build all of our cars. It's a very serious problem that we have. We just went through one of many experiences where we had a conflicted judge, highly conflicted. There's never been a more conflicted judge. Now, I'm under a gag order, which nobody's ever been under. No presidential candidate's ever been under a gag order before.
That might be true.
Order.
Yeah, that's true, but no presidential candidate has ever been convicted of 34 fucking felony crimes in one day.
I'm just pointing out the irony of him actually saying something honest in this 2-minute clip.
Well, it's actually not that honest, because nobody's ever done what he's done before, so nobody's ever had to be gagged, and nobody has ever been found in contempt of court this trial 10 times. He was found in contempt of court 10 times. And the judge in this case, we're not done, is considering actually sentencing him to jail because of it. So that's why he sounds like he's shitting his pants, because he's shitting his pants. Not that he's stopped shitting his pants.
They did bring that up after his speech. That was they were discussing about the gag order issues that he had during this speech, and that this next step for the judge, because it's still in place, could be that'd be funny. if he actually goes to jail because of the gag order and not because of any of his crimes.
Because can't shut the fuck up. That might be poetic. Anyway, there's about 55 seconds left. Let's listen.
Nasty gag order.
Nasty.
Where I've had to pay thousands of dollars in penalties and fines and was threatened with jail. Think of it. I'm the leading candidate. I'm leading Biden by a lot, and I'm leading the Republicans to the point where that's over. So I'm the leading person for president, and I'm under a gag order by a man that can't put two sentences together, given by a court, and they are in total conjunction with the White House and the DOJ, just so you understand. This is all done by Biden and his people. And maybe his people more importantly. I don't know if Biden knows too much about it.
Oh, none of it's true.
Because I don't know if he knows about anything. But he's nevertheless the president, so we have to use his name. And this is done by Washington, and nobody's ever seen anything like it. If they can do this to me, they can do this to
you. There you go. There is the best 224. There was a smattering of other bullshit in it, but that is your boy.
He was very
Trump. Oh,
I've seen him rattled before.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's always people play clips of him, losing it or whatever, or, they do the same thing with Biden. But that was a very, very disjointed speech from him this morning. It just kept going. At CNN, I was watching CNN and they broke in at about 24-minute mark. Mm-hmm. And you could tell like Wolf was like, they didn't know how to dissect it.
No, dude. Of course they didn't know how to dissect it because he's so fucked.
Yeah.
None of it made any sense. Like that was the most cogent he was. The rest of it was just this rambling of deep state, George Soros. And if you listen to it, if you listen specifically to the start of it, what he did was he made everybody else the target, right? Not him. He made everybody else the target. What he's basically insinuating is this government is corrupt. They only came after him because he's going to be the next president of the United States, that he's a political prisoner. He launched a fundraiser yesterday. He's collected millions already, calling himself America's first political prisoner, which he is not. He stole state secrets. He committed these crimes. He raped these people. He defamed these people. He did all these things. And he's turning this into political prisoner bullshit. Now, really the funny part for me were all the MAGATs that were outside losing their shit. I can't get enough of
any of this. I've been avoiding this because this stuff is,
dude, I love this stuff. I don't know why. Maybe it's the Schadenfreude. And I know it doesn't say great things about me. I get it. I get that I love this. It doesn't say awesome things about me. I totally understand that. But watching these people and the quality of individual that shows up to support this man is actually a very good indicator of the kind of individual this man is and the kind of people that are in MAGA, which is a cult. So is Maple MAGA. It is legitimately a cult.
I texted you yesterday. I mean, I've heard it before. I know it's not an uncommon thing to hear people say. I was just surprised. I can't remember his name. He's the guy that spent the entire year with Trump, his final year when he was in office.
Oh, Bob Woodward. Yeah.
Yes, Bob. I was searching for his name. He also wrote a bunch of books on Watergate.
Yeah, and Woodward and Bernstein, they were the guys that uncovered Deep Throat. Yeah.
So they had him on CNN yesterday.
Holy shit, he was
yeah. And he mentioned that the Trump followers were a cult. I was like, I texted you right away. I'm like, somebody is supporting your cult theory, Dean. I've heard it, but you know what I mean? It's another thing to hear somebody with that kind of pedigree break it down like that, because they avoid doing that on MSNBC and they avoid jumping into those waters because I think there's still this element of concern about upsetting that side for their own ratings, right? Even though all they do is Trump all day. It's like Trump television.
Oh, 24 hours yesterday. You couldn't get away from it. And I was 2 hours into it. I don't watch the news that much. Like, this Trump shit really kind of flew by. You and I haven't talked about it. We got into it yesterday because it was a big deal. And all of a sudden,
we haven't touched on it as much as we have in the past.
No. Because I've had like literally Trump derangement syndrome where it's like every time he comes on my TV, I'm like, nope. Same thing with Pierre Poilievre. Nope. Like just the same repetitive, angry, stupid lies, bullshit, all this stuff. So the real great part here is the schadenfreude. Now, if you have been annoyed by these red hat wearing motherfuckers over the past several years, if you've been disgusted by these people that continue to run around with like the education of a fucking wicker basket, tell you that their guy is God, you suck, fuck the wokes. If you've been, kettled by any of these maggots over the past, I don't know how long, I want you to watch this video of A, the quality of individual of people that showed up to support him in the courthouse, and B, I want you to listen very carefully because these people just found out that their God, their Lord, Donald Trump, their savior, their cult leader.
Jesus memes.
They're the one that you sent me was the fucking best. These guys just found out that he is not only not going to walk away from these charges, he's not getting bail, and he's going to spend some time in jail, and their God is a convicted felon who did the shit. Watch the cognitive dissonance and the sheer stupidity of this group of people who cannot believe Donald Trump got convicted of fucking crimes that he totally committed.
What is Freedom News TV? Sorry.
There's all these TV stations.
You've been getting a lot of these clips from Freedom News TV lately.
So fucking good, though. I love that.
If they convict him,
holy shit, he was found guilty. Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit.
I love Donald Trump. What's the rest of his shirt say?
Gays for Trump.
Motherfuckers!
Yeah, his shirt says, I love Donald Trump. You got a problem with that bitch, gays for Trump. That's what he says. Just called the courthouse a bunch of motherfuckers. He's really angry. He just found out.
This is so bizarre.
He can't believe Donald Trump committed crimes and was found guilty of said crimes.
Motherfuckers! You suck! You suck! There is no justice in this country!
Guilty!
Not guilty! He's not guilty! You pieces of shit! WandaCon! Eat shit and die! You're fucking corrupt,
your
motherfucker!
Your fucking kids are all dead. Your kids are all fucking dead.
Shit.
All your fucking children, they're all fucking dead.
I found guilty!
They're all fucking dead.
Yeah. Motherfucker!
Fucking guilty.
Motherfucking piece of shit!
Fucking guilty.
Fucking piece of shit! There's no justice in this country!
Not fucking.
It is. I don't know why you find it so funny. It's bothersome, Dean.
Oh, that's because you care.
I don't know if I care. Like I don't know what it is.
You cannot care about these people. Nobody can, not done. I want to prove how stupid this entire group of individuals are. If you support this gentleman at all, you support MAGA, you support anybody, this is who you support, this is who you are. I want you to take a good fucking hard long look and listen to yourself. This is who you are. You dumb fucks. You all got owned. All of you. Every single one of you stupid sons of bitches put all your hope and belief behind this guy like he was the second coming of the Christ. He's nothing more than a two-bit rapist and criminal who's going to fucking jail now. But I want to play the rest of it for you because it really encapsulates how stupid you have to be.
A little bit?
Stupid you have to be to believe this, especially the part where the guy says, let's take it to the streets. And the woman with him reminds him that's exactly where they are.
Corruption! It's all fucking corruption! I have a message for you! Fuck you, WandaCon! WandaCon! I'm fucking pissed!
Fuck you and fuck Joe Biden too!
Fuck Joe Biden!
All I know is this.
Fuckers! Fuckers! Yeah!
Guilty on a whole nother animal and a whole new way.
It's a lynching! It's a lynching! It's political interference! It's over!
It's over for Biden.
The lynching is
Fuck you, Judge Juan.
Is a hard.
This gay for Trump, this gay guy for Trump, he's very upset.
There is no justice in this country. We want a democracy. This is America. You railroaded this man. He committed no crimes.
Yeah, he did.
Fuck you. I'm mad as hell, as they say. I'm mad as hell. Let's take to the streets. Let's take to the fucking streets. I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
We are on the streets. Thanks, Wanda. We are on the streets. This is crazy. It's so crazy.
Let's take it to the streets. We're going to the streets. In the back.
So I got a question.
Really bright maggot is going.
I got a question.
That's where we are. We're on the
street. I got a question for you because a lot of the coverage that I watched yesterday would suggest that people, that pundits are even on the left, leaning broadcasts of this are suggesting that he won't actually serve time for this. So but again, this surprised me. I'm very shocked by this ruling. So, I mean, maybe he does, but do you think that he is going to jail?
Okay. So let's break that down a little bit, because everything that I've read, all the notes that I've taken, and I've taken significant notes, say that 50-50. He may not.
Okay.
What he has going against him for the 50 of going to jail is he was found in contempt because he couldn't shut the fuck up 10 times. He has physically been found guilty, according to all the evidence, of first-degree falsifying of records 34 times. If this is anybody else, they're going to jail. If anybody commits contempt of court 10 times in one trial, they're going to jail.
Else.
And it's not anybody else. So they're going to have to weigh something. Now, what they'll weigh is this, from what I understand, according to all the legal pundits. What they're going to weigh is whether or not they can get away with it. Judge Marchand, in this case, wants to send a message. The DA, Alvin Bragg in New York, wants to send a message. What they did is they caught, because this is part of the actual thing. This is the part of the problem, is that every rich white guy who's been able to skirt the rules by falsifying records, or not just rich white guy, every rich person, rich organization, every organization that falsifies business records, which I'm going to put at 80 to 90% of businesses. And every rich guy who's flouted the rules and said, hey, listen, I can get away with this by throwing money at it, hiding lawyers, I can get away with it. All of his friends, all those billionaires, you're seeing this cacophony of billionaires, from everybody from Mr. Wonderful, like Kevin O'Leary, to other billionaires come out saying, this is going to be bad for billionaires in America. You shouldn't have done this. This is a crime he committed 20 years ago that he was held accountable for now. And by the way, and this is what Kevin O'Leary said, you're going to see him a lot because Donald Trump pays him to go around and go, hey, Dad, he's not that bad. He's a really good guy. This is bad for America, even though he's Canadian. Fucking blows my mind. Is that a lot of really rich white people that have lots to hide, or rich people that have lots to hide that have engaged in the same type of crimes, are starting to shit their pants because this is a fucking fire in the night, right? This is like, holy shit, one of us got pegged. Because there is a society of elites. There are groups and cabals of people who are like, how'd you get out of that tax evasion? It's like, no big deal. I called this guy. How'd you get out of that rape charge? No big deal. Here's my lawyer's number. How did you get out of that fucking theft from the SEC? No big deal. Here's the guy you call. Dude, someone who was the president of the United States, who is part of that elite ecosystem, just got charged for what they all do. So now you've got the entire rich billionaire ecosystem, which bleeds into Canada. Don't forget, Edward Rogers, really good friends with the Trump family. He's giving money to the Trump Nation, right? You've got other Canadians that are really close with them too. And that ecosystem is borderless. So he goes down, Trump goes down. You've got all of those friendlies who think they're above the law because they're elites, and they are. There's a different set of rules for super wealthy people. You and I both argue about that all the time.
Yeah, right? I don't think we argue about it. I think we both agree. I truly
we argue together against it because we know it's a thing.
Yeah. There's different rules, and I've said this before. If you know somebody with a lot of money, like a lot of money, and this isn't everybody, but. And there's some sort of a line there that people cross, right? Like of wealth. But if you get to a certain point in life, you probably did something shitty to get that money. Like that. Yeah. That's and I hate to be that guy, but it just. And if you get anybody on a good day talking about it, maybe get a couple of drinks in somebody that's got $1 billion, I'd be willing to bet they'd admit that they had to, break a couple of eggs and do some things on the more shady side in order to collect the wealth that they do have, right? And again, not everybody, but I think it's just part of the game. And you can tell by Trump's speech earlier this morning that he was defending not just himself, and it's a witch hunt and they're after me, it's all political, but he was also defending the things that he was doing.
Yeah.
Right? Did you pick up on that? Like, this happens all the time. This
Which is weird when he's saying this happens all the time, and during the trial he said he didn't do it.
Yeah.
Right? Like his lawyer, Todd Blanche, was on CNN last night, and he's like, listen, these crimes happened like 20 years ago. He shouldn't be in court for that. These crimes, what my client did 20 years ago, he shouldn't have to get charged for that. He shouldn't be going to jail for that. And I'm like, well, dude, you're just like, you literally spent the last 6 weeks saying your client wasn't involved in any of this. And now after the fact, you're like, yeah, he did all this shit, but it was so long ago. Nobody comes after people like my client for that. No. Yeah. Well, you fucking did it. You did it. Right.
The tough part about this is that, and a lot of people aren't going to want to hear this, but I kind of think that politics is at play here. I'm not suggesting he's not guilty. I'm not suggesting he doesn't deserve this. I would love, as much as I've always said, I don't think he'll ever go to jail. If he goes to jail, I think that's awesome. I think I actually do worry about it, because I think all it does is just strengthen his position politically in the United States. He raised $58 million overnight with these. So he's actually benefiting from these charges. And if he goes to jail, even if it's for like 3 weeks or 6 weeks or something like that, he's going to martyr himself. So I think it kind of works against the idea of disgracing him. For whatever reason, he's figured out a way to turn all this around to his benefit. Yeah. Now, but I do think that that's the hard conversations that people need to have now, because it is impossible not to have an opinion one way or the other about this guy. So that will motivate people's decisions to go after him in a certain way. Yeah. And it is in this case, in my opinion. That's where there's a shred of truth on what he's saying. I don't think Biden and the Democrats are behind this. I don't think that. But politics are at play here. It's impossible for it not to be. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did a little research into that.
That's the honest thing to say about this.
Oh, I don't disagree. If you think for a second that, someone who doesn't have Donald Trump's character, someone who didn't do and say what Donald Trump has done and said over the past 70 years, specifically over the past 9, right? If there wasn't the big lie, if he was a good president, would they be going after him? Probably not. Probably not. But here's the catch. This is what I find interesting. Yeah, I think it is too. Not to this extent, right? Because they dumped this trial when a guy named Cy Vance was the district attorney prior to a gentleman named Alvin Bragg being district attorney. He got a phone call from Washington. They're like, let's end that whole thing. And so Cy Vance was like, okay. So he stopped, gave it to Alvin Bragg. He picked it up when he got the job, and then he was the guy that dummied.
This wasn't supposed to happen. This was supposed to be thrown out.
Yeah. This was stopped.
That's another thing he's not wrong
3 fucking years ago. No, he's not. It wasn't supposed to happen. But Alvin Bragg was like, that guy uses the N-word quite a bit, doesn't he? And they're like, yeah. And that guy did commit those crimes, didn't he? Yeah. And Trump's controller, Alan Weisselberg, did get convicted by Cy Vance previously. Yeah. So he's like, well, let's look into those convictions. Looks into those convictions.
He spent time in jail.
Oh, yeah. Alan Weisselberg is still in jail. Like, dude, he has an immunity clause in his conviction. So, like, he should be in jail for much longer than he is. But he's in jail for covering, writing, obfuscating, doing all the financial crimes with which Donald Trump got tagged. So that guilty plea fed into this trial. He was found guilty of those 34. Hang on, let me finish. Let me get to the end of it. And then not only was he found guilty here, and Alan Weisselberg's guilt fed into this trial, but there's this other trial coming up you may or may not be aware of, called the January 6th insurrection trial.
This will feed into that.
Collector trial. And his guilt legitimately has more to do with those trials. This guilt will have more to do with those trials than him going to jail. So it's like these little dominoes that continue to fall where they can prove that this gentleman put these things in motion so that he could do something untowards in that time.
Right? I could be wrong. And again, this isn't a correction. This is just what I remember hearing about his old handler. I thought it was more to do with his contempt because he refused to actually to testify in a couple of courts. So I think there may be more to it, but I thought that was part of the reason why he was in jail. I could be wrong, but
no, he's in jail because he legitimately lied and perjured himself when he became a state witness. And so they're like, dude, you can't even do that, right? You're going to jail. So all of these trials, and we're going to ramp up. I think it was
because he refused to actually say what happened, right? I think that's part of
because he said the reason why Alan Weisselberg went in jail is he covered up those crimes, and then when they said, hey, we'll give you immunity to tell us the truth, he's like, okay, here's the truth, and that was a lie too. So they're like, wait a second, you lied there again. He's like, all right, fuck, you go to jail, we got your guilty plea, let's go get him in the district of New York, Southern District of New York, which is what they did. So yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Think people are so this is where I think it's also political, and then we can wrap up on this, but I think it's political because I think everyone is at such a loss as to why he is as successfully as he is, why he continues to dominate the press, why he continues to have the support that he has, why he continues to be a threat politically for the Republican Party. And I do think there's a certain movement, an underground movement in the United States of America that has just said, screw it. This is it. We have to do something. And I think they're throwing everything they can at him. I mean, Robert De Niro is campaigning.
Yeah, for his conviction. Yeah.
Against Donald Trump. He's on a tour right now.
I know.
It's bizarre. It's bizarro world. It really is. And I think that's part of the reason why we're dealing with this right now, Dean. And that's why they're going, all right, we're all in. Okay. Who's got this in New York? Who's got this? Just throw the book.
Or he did all the stuff. Or he did all the stuff. Yeah. Well, he should go to jail and be accountable for it. And everybody out there that did all the stuff too should be shitting their pants. We got to split. We got to go. It's a Friday. We got to make room for the lovely Mercedes Nickel. Her podcast dropping in is coming up next. Have a great day, everybody. Lachlan, it was a great day for us, even though we haven't seen him get frog marched into jail. That was good enough for me. I feel happy today because of this. If you're out there going, it was a bad day for America, I don't give a shit because I don't live there. It was a great day for the truth. It was a great day for accountability. And dude, it is just getting ramped up. 3 more massive sedition trials coming up, including the J6 insurrection one. So we're going to get some people on to talk about
there's no violence at the end of this. I hope that cooler heads prevail and that we don't. I hope so. And I feel good about the reaction so far because when I heard it yesterday, I was like, ugh, they might take this to the streets.
This is the thing. I think it's made up.
Wanda. She's going to start flipping cars.
Have a great day, dude. Really appreciate you being here. Talk to you soon. That Lachlan Cross, at Lachlan Cross on Twitter is where you can find him. Mercedes Nickel is up next. Have a great day, great weekend, everybody. We will see you on Monday where we will continue to unpack the Trump stuff. We've got Stephen Monticelli next week from Protein and the Texas Daily Observer to talk to us about Christian nationalism and the energy state of the North Americans. We're going to do that next week, among other things. Have a great day. We'll see you on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Bye, Donald. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye.